So I'm in a bit of a soup as usual. My internet's not working, so I don't have access to Google Maps. I don't even know how to reach my hostel where I have booked my accommodation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Aer Lingus regional flight operated by Emerald Airlines.
Hello, all, and welcome to a brand new travel story. I'm off on a trip to the Isle of Man, a small island in the Irish Sea tucked between the mainlands of UK and Ireland. I grab a Go Explore travel card from the airport that will allow me unlimited access to all forms of public transport on the island. Outside, I'm greeted by the Celtic triskelion, the official symbol of the isle. The holy spiral signifies the three worlds, the physical, spiritual, and the celestial. I reach my first stop, Port of St. Mary's. My internet's not working despite all efforts to port to the local internet provider on the isle. So I resort to the old style of navigation, learning how to read paper maps. With help from the friendly locals and one elderly lady even inviting me to her home to use the telephone, I finally find my accommodation. Having already wasted few hours trying to sort out my coordinates, I quickly check in and head out to explore the southern part of the island. The southern coastline is spectacular. There are some great hikes as well, but unfortunately I don't have much time before the last bus, so have to turn back. I reach Port Erin, one of the major towns in the south. Pick up a new SIM, hoping it resolves my navigation woes. Port Erin Bay has its own share of gorgeous coastal walks, beautiful family beaches, and cozy fish and chips shops. I had planned to undertake the Brada Head Walk to the Milner Tower, dedicated to local philanthropist William Milner, but intense gales and low daylight forced me to abandon the plan. Nevertheless, I rejoiced the tranquility of the place and returned to Port of St. Mary's in time for a splendid sunset. And that's the end of day 1 on Isle of Man. A beautiful sunrise wakes me up on day 2. My new SIM didn't work as well, confirming some issue with my phone itself. So now I need to resort to paper maps, tourist booklets, and talking with locals for guidance. I now head to my next destination, Castletown, famous for its museums, castle, and ancient heritage. Isle of Man is more famously known for its TT races, one of the most prestigious motorcycle racing in the world. I couldn't visit it during the frigid week of racing, but get the chance to witness a cycling race on the island. Next, I spent some time walking around the town discovering cute little fairy doors. One can even pick up ferry maps from the visitor center and embark on a little treasure hunt and find as many doors as possible. Definitely a fun activity for the kids. The Manx natives adore their fairies, or as they fondly say, little people. I even make a wee stop at the ferry bridge, honoring the local custom of acknowledging their presence. Beware, if you don't, you may run into bad luck. Set on 92 acres of countryside, my next stop is the home of Rest for Old Horses, a tranquil sanctuary for elderly horses, including those retired from the Isle's horse trams. They enjoy eating carrots and apples, or one can even purchase a bag of horse feed from the gift shop. Entry is free, though one can donate or adopt an animal. The gentle giants are friendly, and it's a fun activity for adults and kids alike. Next is the Cregnish Folk Village, a living museum dedicated to the preservation of traditional Manx ways of life. I'm going to try my luck and spot the two unique creatures on the island. The native Logaton sheep, known to grow 4, sometimes even 6 massive horns. Second, the tailless Manx cat. After exploring the folk village, I hop onto a steam train and venture into the north of the island. As the train chugs through the heart of the country, I find out few more interesting facts about the place. Man has the oldest continuous parliament in the whole world. It has its own language, Manx Gaelic, an endangered language. It closely resembles Irish and Scottish Gaelic, but with a hint of Old Norse, possibly a Vikings influence. It is a British Crown dependency, but not technically a part of the UK, though one can visit the island with UK visa. Another advantage of off-season exploration. All my hostel rooms have been empty so far. I lay down my anchor for the night at Ramsey, a beautiful coastal town in the northeast. I check in and head out to explore the serene black sand beaches of the area, witness a beautiful sunset and retire for the night. Another beautiful morning on the island. Today I am taking the Manx electric tram from Ramsey to Laxi. Laxi is a small touristy village on the east coast of the island, featuring the Laxi wheel or the beloved Lady Isabella, world's largest working water wheel. Man is the only nation in the world to have got the tag of UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, not limited to certain areas, but to the entire country. So each time you look out of the window, it's a picture perfect postcard. In the 18th and 19th century, Laxi was a center of mining and the wheel was used to pump out water from the mines. One can climb to the top of the wheel to soak in the panoramic views of the valley. Well, typical weather of this area. Sudden rains, sudden sunshine. If you have time, go about exploring some nice trails through the woodlands leading to the ruins of the old mines. Next on my list is the mountain railway to the summit of Snaefell, the highest mountain on the island. Peaking at 2036 feet, weather permitting, one may be able to see some or all of the 7 kingdoms. The kingdoms of England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, the Isle of Man, and the kingdoms of heaven and the sea. There is a small cafe at the top where I buy some souvenirs, indulge in local scones with delicious clotted cream and walk to the summit.
God!
Fortunately, the weather god is pleased with me today. The wind god has gone berserk though. After spending some time at the summit, I make my way to Laxi village and board the electric tram to Douglas, the capital city. Made up of the Manx words for light and dark, the city of Douglas is very charming and picturesque. I spent some time exploring the beaches and city and hop on a bus to visit Peel, another gorgeous town on the west coast. A beautiful sunset slowly adorns the landscape. The sublime beauty evokes a sense of gratitude and contentment. Early next morning, I board a cruise back to my base. Isle of Man is beautiful, but more beautiful are its warm and friendly people. On a solo adventure, sans internet and connectivity on the roads, I fell back to the old ways of traveling, trying to make sense of maps, paper timetables, and talking to people. It was a delightful experience. People offered to drive me to my accommodation, sprinted with me to bus stops, dropped me off at required stops, offered their phones, smiled with me, laughed at my silly escapades, and in the process became an integral, memorable part of my travel story. My only regret? I didn't get to spend enough time here.